Hey guys, Killswitch here, and this is episode 2 of my Factions How-To series. This episode is going to talk about how to claim your chunks. Now, if you see on my F map, I'm southeast, and I've reached if you look at my coordinates, I've hit the border on each side. So, it's probably not going to be a perfect 16 by 16 whatever, because I haven't multiplied to figure out my border, but I just kind of typed in a random number. But fmap/fclaim. This will be your, I guess it's going to be your corner chunk, I guess. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go to 999 over /fmap. Yeah, you're still in it. But, kind of want to check out to see if your, like, claims will be anywhere on the outside of the border, but, I kind of went outside of mine, so claim that, claim this. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing this if you have a small faction. I'm in the corner right now, which is probably one of the best places to go whenever you claim. The corners are like the first spot people go to whenever a map gets reset. So, as you can see, /ff, I have 200 power and 210 max power, but ignore the 210. Um, Most factions servers cap out the faction power at 200, and which means you can claim up to 200 land. So I'm just gonna claim like a small little area around what I already have claimed from the corner, because I want a full 2x2 chunk base. And in the next episode, I'm going to talk about like money making and what you should do. Now, so far I only have a 1 chunk buffer, which is absolutely terrible. Um, Most giant factions on the any server usually have several buffer factions, and I'll get into buffer factions later once I get an alt on here, but I'm too fucking lazy to log off. Now, as you see, it would seem like I have a pretty nice little setup here, because right over here would be my base, and then I'd have 2 chunks in like each area. But corner cannons don't really work very well. They're really inaccurate. I haven't seen any good like corner cannons at all. But I'm just gonna claim out like another chunk. So and now, the only reason why you want large buffers is because people that can cannon tend to make some crazy ass cannons that fire like 20 chunks. So, but then there's a problem with that, and that is you have to have a shit ton of people logged on or logged into those chunks uh, to shoot that far, or the chunks have to be loaded. Because let's see, what's my power now? I have 25 power land claims, and so this would be like a decent. It's not the best. It's not. It's all right. It's an all right claim, because my base would be back here at the corner, and it's a 3 chunk buffer, which isn't too shabby when you're first starting out. Because usually, whenever a map resets, not a lot of people have 40 grand to spend on like a creeper spawner or 100 grand. So I'm just gonna /f auto claim. I'm gonna go out. Let's say I'm just gonna go out 5 chunks. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, that might be 6. Oh well. Yeah, that's 6. So I went out 6 chunks, and that adds 6 more um, chunks that they'd have to shoot compared to the already 3 there. So that's 9 chunks they have to shoot through. Now, a good buffer size would probably be anywhere from 20 to 30 chunks, only because it's harder to shoot that far or shoot that distance, because not a lot of people have the power to keep those chunks loaded, unless they get their allies, then it might be a problem. But cannoning from 40 chunks is really fucking difficult. Only because whenever I cannon, I like to see my base and what I'm dealing with, not just go off what people say it looks like and what's happening. That tends to lead to a lot of problems when you're cannoning. But this is a nice little claim area for a base if you're starting out. People can still cannon through it, but I don't think I can, with this faction saying I can't, like, set it up so the faction stays. But it's a nice little area. I'm going to, fuck, that's the border area, shit. I'm gonna go out, and I'm gonna go out like another chunk and claim 3 rows of my chunks. Go over one. I think, shit, I'm going east, aren't I? Fuck. Alright, there we go. Slash F claim. That's east, what the fuck? Alright, I'll be back whenever I get this all claimed. Alright, so I claimed all the land. And if you look at my F map, the base would be back here, and they'd have to shoot through 9 chunks to get to your base. And that's excluding walls. Like, if you just had a one-walled base at the corner, shooting 9 chunks, it's not that hard, but it's a little bit difficult getting your power right. It'd take a while. But now, if you were to have a giant sky to bedrock base, you'd run into a problem, and that's your nether. People tend to nether glitch, I guess, nether raid, whatever you want to call it. And in order to stop that, you'd make a nether portal and go to your nether. But it's a lot quicker than just dividing your cords by 8. In order to nether raid, which I see a lot of big factions on some servers, that's 40 to 60 players maybe. They don't really claim their nether, and that's really fucking retarded. But I made this nether portal, and you'd take, say your base was right around here, you take your x coordinates and your z coordinates and divide them by 8. I'm not gonna do this because I'm just gonna go to the nether, and usually it's gonna be laggy for the first like minute that I'm there. But this would be like the basic area. Teleport. It might be a few blocks off, but if you have a big enough faction, I'd claim in like a 2 chunk area. Actually, I'm gonna have to divide my cores by 8, so I'll be back whenever I do that. Alright, so my X is 123 and my Z is 124. So this would be the chunk I want to claim if I didn't want anyone to nether portal in that base. So now if we were to do Fmap, I have this chunk claim, and we want to go out in 2 chunks in every direction. It's going to take a lot of claims to claim your nether, so, but it's really, really important. Slash Fmap on, slash F, never mind, F claim. Now, I tend to do this. It's like one of the very first things I do before making my bases is to claim my nether, because whenever you're building a base, or like you say you already have like a really amazing base, and you just so happen to forget to lock your chests, and someone, you know, free cams into your base, there's really no way to stop free camming, so that's what sucks about it. And someone free camps into your base, and they look at your power and they count up the land, so they go completely out of the way to see if you're raidable, and they realize, oh hey, these guys don't have their nether claimed, so they go buy 10 obby or however big they want to make their portal, and they are like, oh hey, we can raid them. So they nether portal into your base after dividing the cords and running to it, or just running away a few blocks and like few hundred blocks, so that portal doesn't get connected to the one they're gonna make to raid your base. And then they nether portal into your base. And they take all your goods. It's really, really upsetting if you don't have your nether claimed and you make a base. Only because all that hard work for nothing, and mostly afterwards, they have their home set in your base. And that's what's really upsetting is whenever you get raided from nether portals and they set their home in your base. There's really no way to counteract that except for just blocking off that room somehow. But most servers allow you to buy creeper eggs, and it'd just be a damn shame. But what I'm doing now is I'm claiming around the little plus area that I had claimed beforehand, so they're definitely not nether portaling in. Now I see a lot of factions make like a nether portal trap in their little claim area somewhere, and the problem with that is I'm still sketchy on like if that actually works. I mean, it works for nether traps, but it's still, I'm still sketchy about it because I really don't trust glitches and nether portals working completely. Because if you're trapped in a nether portal, you can't type and you can't log out. So you basically just have to go into your task manager and shut down your game. But now if we were to go back down there or go to the chords that I said, 123, 124. And if we were to type /fmap, or I already have it auto updating, but this would be your nether claims. And that is a lot of claims. I now have 86 claims and 200 power. And that's 20 alts, or 5 people, and 4 alts for each, which is a lot. Now, I also forgot to mention that whenever you make your faction, you want to have it set to, you don't want to have your faction open, because anyone can join your faction then. And we raided a base on Just PvP called Fear. They had massive claims for their buffer faction, but their buffer factions were open, so that they got raided super easily. And after claiming your nether, you just kind of want to destroy the portal and so on and so forth. And this is like the basic claims. Destroy the portal you made in the nether, which I didn't do because I'm not too worried about it at the moment. And this would be your claims. It's not the best, but it is really good for whenever you're starting out, because I don't think anyone's going to be making any 9-chunk cannoning things within the first few days of the map. But the next episode is going to talk about just how to build your base and what you should do to prevent a few cannoning. I mean, it doesn't fully prevent it, it just helps stop it just a little bit. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this episode and hope it was some informative. But anyways, guys, I will talk to you later.